On this video, I have to talk about the origins of language. So, watch the video carefully and let's go to the video. The first topic is the divine source. One of the oldest explanations is called the divine source theory. In this view, language is believed to be a gift from a god or divine being, given to humans in a complete form rather than invented slowly over time. For example, in the biblical tradition in Genesis, God creates Adam and whatsoever Adam called every living creature. That was the name of thereof, suggesting the naming and language come directly from God. Similar ideas also appear in Hindu tradition, where language is linked into Sarasvati, the wife of Brahma, the creator. Some historical experiments try to rediscover this supposed original divine language by raising infants in total silence to see what language they would spontaneously speak. But such attempts were methodologically weak and ethically problematic. The main limitation of the divine source theory is that it cannot be tested scientifically, so it is important more as cultural belief than as a linguistically supported explanation. The next topic is the natural sound source. A very different approach is called the natural sound source. Here, the starting point is that humans can hear and identify sounds in their environment from before birth, and they can connect sounds with the objects or even that produce them. The idea is that the first word were imitation of natural sounds, especially animal noises and environmental sounds. When early humans heard a bird making a chow chow sound, they might imitate that sound and use it as a label for the bird, or they even associated with that sound. Similarly, a choo-choo sound could become associated with a particular kind of bird, and over time such imitation could evolve into a set of vocal labels. This approach helps explain onomatopoeic words like buzz, bang, or splash, which directly echo natural sounds. Where's it? Oh, there you are. So, for the next topics is the bow-wow theory. The version of natural sound source that focuses on imitation of animal and environmental noises is nicknamed the bow-wow theory. The linguist Otto Jefferson used this label to describe the idea that language began when humans copied sounds like dogs barking, birds chirping, or other natural noises. So early vocabularies might have been built from forms like bow wow for a dog or similar mimetic expression for other animals and events. However, this theory struggles to explain many aspects of word grammatical elements that do not relate to natural sounds, such as if, because, or truths. It also does not clearly explain how a small number of imitated sounds could develop into the complex grammar and huge vocabulary of modern languages. Next topic is the pooh-pooh theory. Another idea related to natural sounds is the pooh-pooh theory. Instead of focusing on external noises, it suggests that language originated from instinctive sounds people make in response to pain, surprise, happiness, or other emotional states. Examples are interjection like ouch, oh, or ugh, which seems to come directly from emotional reactions. These emotional cries are certainly part of human vocal behavior, but they are usually produced with sudden, involuntary exhalations and do not combine easily into longer, structured utterances. For this reason, the pooh-pooh theory alone does not fully explain how complex, rule-governed language emerged, although it may highlight one important source of early vocal expressions. Next topic is the social interaction source. A more socially oriented idea is the social interaction source, sometimes linked to theories like yo he ho. This view proposes that language grew out of the grunts, cries, and rhythmic chants people produced when working together in groups, especially during heavy physical labor that required coordination. For instance, when a group lifts a heavy object, they might naturally produce synchronized sounds, and over time, these sounds could become more regular and meaningful. Because early humans live in communities and depend on cooperation for survival, there would have been strong pressure to develop reliable signals, to coordinate actions, share tasks, and building social bonds. The social interactions source therefore highlights that language is not only about naming objects, but also about managing relationships and collective activities. Next is the physical adaptation source. Another type of explanation does not start from sounds or society, but from the human body itself. This is the physical adaptation source. According to this view, certain anatomical changes during the human evolution made speech easier and more effective, and language could develop only because these physical features appeared. The focus falls on details of human teeth, lips, mouth, tongue, larynx, and pharynx, which together create a very flexible vocal tract. By comparing humans with other primates, it becomes clear that small differences in shape position and muscle structure produce a big difference in the range and control of speech sounds that humans can make. These changes do not explain language by themselves, but they show that human bodies are specially adapted for speaking. Next is the tool making source. Moving beyond anatomy, another proposal is the tool making source. This idea connects the development of language with early humans' ability to make and use tools, especially certain tools that require precise sequential actions. Tool making demands fine motor control, planning of sequence of steps, and coordination of both hands, all of which are associated with areas in the left hemisphere of the brain. Studies suggest that the same brain regions involved in complex hand movements for tool making are also involved in speech production and articulation. In other words, the neural circuits first developed for manipulating objects may have been adapted for organizing and producing sequences of speech sounds, supporting the evolution of a speaking brain. And last but not least, the topic is the genetic source. Finally, many linguists consider a genetic source as part of the explanation. From this perspective, humans are genetically predisposed to acquire language, which links into the hypothesis and ideas such as universal grammar. Researchers have identified gene mutation related to change in diet and energy use that may have allowed more blood flow to the brain, supporting the growth of a larger, more complex brain. Some work focuses on specific genes like FOXP2, which appear to be involved in speech and language abilities, although there is no single language gene. The genetic source suggests that at some point in human evolution, crucial genetic change created a species-specific capacity for language, which then interacted with social, physical, and cultural factors to produce the full human linguistic system. Okay, yeah. Look how swear. So, thank you for your attention that watched my video till end, yeah, till these clips. So maybe that's all for me. Yeah, once again, thanks for you guys for listening and watching the video till end. So let's I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.